Sure. My name is Leo Rodriguez, 844 North Leonard, here in Montebello. Several years ago, they moved and all of the traffic problem on Finley to Leonard. Maybe not specifically, but that's where it ended up. What happens is that in an effort to calm the traffic situation that Finley only had at that time, they made that change. I'm not going to say it wasn't a good change, but I don't think, or at this time, I don't believe that a lot of thought was put into a long period of time and how it was going to affect the total area as it is today. Today you have more people, we have more traffic. Our area is being sold to young people now. They're coming in with new families, so you have more children. A lot of those kids go to Bella Vista across the freeway, so you have parents that are in a hurry in the morning to get their kids to school. You have some people trying to get across to get on the freeway to go to work. So there's a combination of issues that are there that we as a group, hopefully, we can help them come to a resolve, okay? Me personally, I don't care if they make Leonard a dead-end street, okay? But is that going to mitigate the problem? So what has to happen is that, again, we all need to sit down and just very calmly look at what the problem is. What we're here, hopefully today, is not finger point. That's not going to do us any good. We have a problem, but we need resolution. There's kids on our block, young kids, that can't go out in the street or chase a ball because we have people flying down that street way over 25 miles an hour. And like everything else, nothing's going to be done until somebody gets hurt. Okay? That Finley exit, as the young lady mentioned, it's so ambiguous with all the signs. Okay? You have a short exit off the freeway, and the one that goes to Garfield is a long exit. So they have a lot more opportunity to make those adjustments in lanes where you don't have them when you get off on Finley. And this is hopefully my message to everybody right now, is that let's try to put our heads together and find a good solution that isn't going to just take the problem that was on Finley, that was moved to Hendricks and to Leonard, and move it back on Bradshaw all the way down to Gerhardt. That's not making the problem go away.
Hello, my name is Marlene Ramirez, and I live at 721 Finley Avenue, one block down from Via Campo, and I take Via Campo every single day from work. First of all, I forgot to thank Department of Public Works for listening to our comments and for inviting us with this concern. I actually have to avoid making my right turn on Finley to go home because of every single car that makes a right turn when they get off the freeway off-ramp. I agree with the first speaker and the second speaker who suggested to close the Finley off-ramp. I know this is a Caltrans issue, but I think that's the best solution because between Atlantic and Garfield, it's still a short distance, and I'm sure drivers are not going to mind getting off of Atlantic or Garfield. I get off on Atlantic anyway because we're not allowed to make a right turn off Finley. I do see a good number of cars making rights on Finley, and yes, like you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of accidents there. I live on Finley, which has a lot of speed bumps. I don't know when they were installed. I do see cars zoom very fast on the speed bumps. I know they deter traffic, but it doesn't do all the speed. I do have a small child, and there's a lot of small children that live on my street, and they do tend to wander off onto the street. So although the speed bumps are there, Finley is still a major thoroughfare to get off the freeway and take a shortcut to Beverly, and there's a lot of cars that still drive through there. So Finley, although it has speed bump, is still a concern to me. The barricades that are located on Via Campo, as the first speaker indicated, is a big eyesore. I thought it was an interim solution, but it's been there for years. I thought a landscape median, although as thin as it can be, would still be appropriate there. or something more aesthetically pleasing. Well, the best solution for me, I suggest, would be just closing the off-ramp altogether, or as the previous speaker said, not allowing any of the cars to make right onto Finley, left onto Finley, just make those streets dead ends. It makes no sense. That exit to me makes no sense at all. Why would somebody get off that exit just to make a left off Finley or go straight? Just make the cars go straight or just close it. Also, I agree with the signage. The signage is a major issue. Cars are very confused, especially people that are not from the area, even people that are from the area. The things that I've seen are either you make a left turn, then you make an illegal U-turn underneath the freeway, or you make a left turn and you go into the laundromat and you turn back around. You get off of Atlantic, but you would have to deal with all the traffic. Or the most dangerous one is that you make a right turn, and most of the times those cause major accidents. So thank you for hearing our safety comments, and I hope that our words get followed through with your resolutions.
In Silva, I live on the corner of Leonard and Via Campo, okay? I'm in that corner house, my bedroom is on Via Campo, okay? Do you know what I go through? You guys hear about it. I see it every single morning, every single night. I don't have no kids, but we have a ton of new kids on our block. At least 25, 30 for your young lady that was speaking, there's no kids. There's at least 30 kids on Leonard now, okay? Via Campo, I get up every morning early with my dog. You guys know my dog lives in, right? Okay, crazy dog, Porky? Yeah. Thank God he doesn't go in the street. Thank God he's a good kid, not on a leash. He'll give you a ticket, but okay, guess what? On that Finley, on that Via Campo passage in the morning and at night, 50, 45 miles an hour. And then coming up to that barrier, what do? Oh shit, bam, they hit it. Or they cut over quick and there's an accident. They get to Finley, an accident. My neighbor right next to me just got into an accident. His car was demolished because of that Finley intersection there, okay? People coming off that off-ramp, people coming on Via Campo, flying down, people coming off the off-ramp, and they're indecisive as to what to do. Guess what? Bam, accidents. I see them, I hear them, I hear the freeway accidents, because my bedroom is right there. It is horrible. If you go on Gerhardt, guess what? Highway Patrol, with the little boom, catching them, creating revenue for who? Not for the city of Montebello, it's not Montebello on Gerhardt, is it? Right? There is no cop presence in our area. Zero. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? Post someone right there on Via Campo. Right in the corner, might sit right there in the corner of my house. I don't care. Bam! Bam! Give me one of the things, I'll show you. I'll do a survey for you. It'll cost the city nothing. I'll sit there all day long and watch and show how fast they're going down that street and coming down Leonard. It's ridiculous. Okay? I just had an incident outside my house where a lady came off the freeway. She crashed. Went up a fence. Okay? Went right up a fence. The guy that was driving jumped out and left. I ran out to help her because she was pushing her car to try to get off the fence. And I stepped in a pothole this big. I blew my knee out. I blew my knee out in the one at the front on Leonard and DeWar. They were out there in 10 minutes when I came over here to complain that I'm going to sue the city. Before I got home, wow, they were out there patching it up, nice and neat, all four. I wonder why. It takes that to get the city to do something. That barrier they put there, how many crosses have you seen that someone has died? How many people, do you know how many people died there? Hitting that barrier? And I get to witness it, listen to it, go out there and try to help them, because I'm right there in the corner. It's, I don't know, do something, because it's ridiculous. Go make some money for the city of Montebello, get a radar guy out there. You guys have, I paid a lot of tickets, believe me. Okay? They'll slow down. They will slow down. Us residents, because I'm a victim, I'm one of the guys that speeds sometimes. We all are, right? When you're in a hurry, right? Yes, I don't care who you are, don't lie. Nobody was Guzman, I don't think so. He's good. Okay, but anyways, do something about it. Appreciate it.
My name is Roxanne Munoz, and I live at 725 North King Street. I want to talk about my personal experience. My first accident there was about a year ago, and it was very, very scary, very terrifying for me. I was traveling Sunday morning, heading over to church on Via Campo on the right side. Barricades here, the other lane getting off the freeways over here. So I'm driving, and I'm aware that there's so many accidents in this area. So I'm driving slow, being cautious. I'm driving, I see a black truck cross, make that illegal right turn. I'm like, oh, there was another one. After that, about 2 seconds later, the car following behind it made that turn. I'm already in there, bam, we cross. We get into this big accident. So that was my first accident. Thank God I have not had another one, but about 2 weeks ago I was driving with my mom and my niece in the back car, and I know that side, on the right side, is a bad side, and I do not want to go there. So I moved to my other lane. I got out of Keenan and I moved on to this lane. And this lady coming down from Finley, she had the red light, no turn on red, and she made her turn. She did not go to her nearest lane. She crossed over to my lane. And I honked, I stepped on my brakes, everything went fine in my car. Thank God, thank goodness we did not get into a car accident. But I'm terrified to go into that intersection. I'm fearing for my life, for my family's life. It's not a safe intersection, and I usually don't speak up, but this is something that has to change because it's really, really scary for me and my family. So thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Matorina. I live at 809 North Finley. I lived there for over 50 years. At one time, we had a ramp that came all the way down. We still had a ramp, but there were no barriers, so people could make a right turn on Finley and then go all the way down to Beverly. And at one time we had 4,000 cars per day traveling that route between Via Campo and Beverly Boulevard. So some of the neighbors got together, Joe Gaston and others, myself, and we petitioned the city to put the bumps on and also to put the barrier on it. However, we still have a lot of automobiles coming that have no regard for the law. They come off the ramp, they get on that two-way area, and they insist on making a right turn into Finley, and heaven forbid anybody's going on the right side, straight ahead, they're going to have a problem. And we have a lot of accidents going on. I've been there talking to the police, and I've asked them perhaps to tell the higher-ups to put a camera up there. We have people coming in from Finley, crossing over to get to Monterey Park, and they wiggle around and they go on their merry way. Now, if they get caught, I understand it's about $250, and it goes toward the city. The suggestion that I would make, as being a resident there for many years, is that the city closed off Finley Avenue. Just dead end it there and have everybody go back and go into the Garfield or up to Via Gerhardt. Because otherwise, people will still make the right turns in the wrong time. People will still waggle around to get into Monterey Park, and we're still going to have a bushel of accidents going on, and people's lives are impaired, as this young lady said. So, suggestion is close off Finley Avenue and let people go and use the Garfield side or use the Gerhardt side. Thank you.
Tom Dutcher, I'll have a little bit of a different viewpoint. When the 60 freeway came in, it was a radical phenomenon. And then when they tore down the clubhouse of the golf course and they put in the Quiet Cannon, which is a multi-task situation that has radically changed the flow of traffic in the area. It's not just let's get back to Montebello, it's let's go have a good time at the Quiet Cannon, which is great for revenues for Montebello, but I think there was a little bit of a lack of planning on overall for the County of Los Angeles and the City of Montebello. Also, coming down, sometimes I'm in East LA and I'll make a turn off of up in Monterey Park and come down toward Finley, then make a left after I go under the freeway and take Via Campo into Montebello. And I've noticed the retaining wall at the corner of Finley at the golf course and Via Campo caved in. Another thing, the thing with the barriers, I found it after I had not been living in Montebello and I was used to pretty much the situation after the freeway was put in, and all of a sudden there are these barriers, and it was absolutely confusing and frightening. Even recently, I was picking up somebody at the Gold Line station on Atlantic, and we're coming back on Pomona Boulevard area, and I suddenly am approaching these barriers, and it was confusing. Even now, I've been driving around in Montebello since the 1960s, and I found it to be questionable and scary. So there you have it. Thank you.
My name is Rodolfo Medina, and I live at 65 North Bradshaw. I want to change it a little bit today at this moment and talk about Bradshaw. The last time this area was saturated with the stop signs and they forgot Bradshaw and Via San, where do I live? Via San Hilario? There's the people that are on Bradshaw across the boulevard are waiting for their green light, and then they gun it across the boulevard onto Bradshaw. And they're going in front of my house about 40, 50 miles an hour. We need a stop sign at the southeast corner. There's one on Hendricks. You guys are lucky. As you come off Beverly Boulevard, they kind of come to a stop right at the corner. We don't have it on Bradshaw, and therefore the cars are zooming by. You go down there at 6:30 in the morning, and you'll see them racing over to try to get over to the freeway. We need that. I support the closure of Via Campo exit. It doesn't do that area any good. That's only for Monterey Park.
Right.
We're not supposed to point fingers, Leo, but really that's all that helps, because we cannot make a right-hand turn. We might as well close it. But I do have an idea of how all of this could be solved. We have two residents that say let's close their street. The gentleman on Finley and the gentleman on, what street is that, Leo? Leonard. Let's do this. Just put a fence around the entire area and make it a gated community, and we won't have a problem. Down in LA City, down on Olympic, there in the Hancock Park, whether it's legal or illegal, they have these beautiful gates across the street, and those people, hey, they live in luxury, because they have a gated community that wasn't planned when it was built. We can do the same thing here. Let's just put a fence around the damn place. Put the gate somewhere and we'll have a gated community and we won't have any problems. I wanted to throw that in. Another thing, before I go, is one thing that we have to, you made a very good point about, let's not talk about trees and potholes. This is traffic. Before you put a hump on the street, you gotta fix the dip. I know that that's a different area. Politics runs thick in our city. But listen, how do you put a hump and then not fix the dip? You know, that doesn't make any sense. Let's fix some potholes in the area before we put any more bumps or humps, whatever she was calling it. Thank you.
My name is Robert Fuentes. I live on the 700 block of Leonard, and into the Leonard block, and hence the street is now deteriorating due to all the traffic flow that can't sustain all those automobiles going there on a daily basis. Everyone's heading to Leonard. There's been a lot of good suggestions, road blocking or dead ending the streets. That seems to be a viable one. Even extending the K-rail so that Leonard Street and even Hendricks wouldn't be shortcut avenues to get to Via Campo. You know, I've been there over 20 years, and it was a quiet, peaceful street when I first moved in. And like I say, when the K-rails went up, it became chaos. Someone mentioned there's 25 plus kids on the street. There's probably more playing it. And I see a lot of people walking with dogs, taking a leisure walk in the evening. You know, it's a really good community. It's a shame that Montebello doesn't take the effort to go investigate and see what this community, you know, it's a quiet, well-knitted community in that one little pocket there. But, you know, it's, you step out of your house onto the street and it's like a third world country, man. There's potholes all over the place. There's water pooling at the end of the block where it's like a little creek. You know, it's situations like that kind of piss me off, because I can go to other parts of Montebello and see their streets being nicely paved and reconditioned and refurbished, but there's no traffic on that street. There's no traffic on that street. And I'm wondering, where's the priority, or where's the payola, or where's the, you know, there must be some type of corruptness going on, maybe, perhaps. I don't know, but come on, man. We pay taxes, and we don't see any of our money being at work. And in terms of the police presence, you know, early morning, I see patrol car go through, which is good. In the weekends, I see them go through, and sometimes in the evening. But I think in the area that we live in, we probably need more traffic control police presence. Thank you.
Hey.
Hello, my name is Rudy Mendez. I live on 845 Leonard, across from Leo. Some concerns are speed limit signs on Gerhardt from Beverly to Via Campo, okay? Is that Montebello going north, or is that East LA? One side is East LA. Okay. Where does Montebello start? Via Campo.
The area you just said is East LA.
Okay, because there's 25 speed limits right there. There's police there. When you turn right on Via Campo, maybe I haven't noticed, but I don't know the speed limit. I've been told it's 35 or 40. People come from Gerhardt frustrated because you have the police with that, and they go fast. Especially people out of the area who may not know, and people in the area. And then you see the barriers. There's no sign saying merging traffic, caution, freeway exit. But on Via Campo, is there a speed limit sign? from Gerhardt to Finney or from Finney to Barstow.
I'll have to get back to you on
Okay,
it.
I'm just trying to do, this you should have to get back to us, because if there haven't been signs like that, when the barriers were put up, that should have been the planning before, thinking the whole thing through, in listening to people, and then to be able to react so that before the accidents happen. All these other things are gonna take time, it's gonna take more to the whole issues, but just to alleviate some of the accidents, and one accident is great to eliminate. I'm just trying to think of quick solutions until we think of a plan together where everybody comes to the meetings. I've heard a lot of great ideas from everybody. But I just figured that item hadn't been touched. And you could get a lot of money, as East LA does with that radar gun. I mean, that's all I gotta say.
On that, I live at 853 Bradshaw Street, right on the corner of Bradshaw and Via Campo. One block up or down, whichever direction that you want to say from Mr. Silva. And I've seen it all. The thing that I'm going to recommend, because everybody had great suggestions all the way across the line, no two ways about it. Blocking off, cutting off, doing whatever we can. But I agree with the last gentleman too. When you make a right on Gerhardt to Via Campo, I don't care whether or not you're coming from the Monterey Park side, or you're coming in through East LA, or you're coming in through the Montebello side. As soon as you make that right-hand turn, there is no speed sign. What I experience is I experience the drag racing, motorcycles, and these guys are trying to do is they're trying to beat that light. From Gerhardt to Findlay is almost exactly a quarter mile. So I don't care what kind of car you're driving, it's just something, it's open. What needs to be done on Via Campo between Gerhardt and Findlay is either a stop sign, or you're gonna need to put a lot of signs. A lot of signs mean 30-mile-an-hour zone, school area, children area. I don't, how many signs you gotta, but put them on the freeway side. Because people are looking more to the open area, they're not looking so much to the closed area. Closed area is residential along that side. Because the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look at sign. Again, my suggestion as far as Via Campo is concerned, 30 miles an hour, and make it the first sign, and then make it another sign halfway down. So this way here, it is 30 miles an hour. Second, children's zone. Those yellow placard signs that have kids on it, I mean, that's a deterrent within itself. Also, there might be a suggestion too is, halfway down when you get down close to Leonard, is to put on one of those flashing signs, you know, from the radar. Or from that immediately, as soon as somebody catches that and looks at that thing, you're still gonna have somebody who's gonna do it. It's understood. Somebody is going to make that reason. But if you catch enough of them, then those are the ones that have to tell other people you can't do it. You're gonna get mad. That's my suggestion. Thank you.
My name is Peter Cepeda. I live at 808 Keenan Street. I'm one of the newer residents in the Bella Vista community, you can call it that. I do have a couple of suggestions, and one of them is for the city of Montebello not to neglect this community. You have a great, wonderful community, and since we moved in, I know I've been here a couple of times to some of the council meetings to talk about the potholes and the issue that we're talking about today. 2 years, is it going to take another 2 years of the same information for the city to do something? I don't think so, but it's going to take us doing something about it Otherwise, I don't think it's gonna happen as quickly as we think it should happen, because we live there, they don't, and unless we get organized and become a pest, unfortunately, and keep bugging the city about it, nothing's gonna happen. So that's a recommendation to my fellow neighbors. How do we do that? Are we gonna be able to get the emails or the information of all of the people here that we have attended the meeting? Is that gonna be disseminated? I know maybe some of you may not want to do that, but I think something that has to be organized within our own community. Then what's the next step? What do we do from here? Is there gonna be an additional follow-up meeting that you're gonna send a letter out to us like you did this time, or are we just you're just gonna have to wait for us to keep bringing the issue up? Thank you.
Oh, Joseph Anaya, 808 Leonard Street. Being that a lot of the children do go to Bella Vista, I was wondering if it would be possible to, I know when I drive through Pasadena area, you see around all the school zones, they have the flashing lights that go across the street on the bottom of the street. I think that would be a major deterrent for people to stop speeding coming off of the freeway and either making that legal right turn or the left turn to go underneath the freeway. Additionally, like Peter was saying, I'd like to get some type of timeline. Are we going to get some type of information from you all that when we're going to get some type of resolution, or at least something that you guys have did some type of analysis that has been completed to all the concerns that have been brought up here? I think that's one of the biggest problems with the Montebello City Council is I feel like people bring up their concerns, but there's no resolution. There's nothing, no information that goes out to the people to let them know, okay, we addressed these, we've did these studies, or we've talked to these professionals that do analysis on all these issues, and like I said, there's no communication, I guess. And I'm surprised actually when I got the flyer on our door that this was going to happen, because I've lived here for I guess 14, 15 years now, and nothing has ever been done. To me, the barriers there's no point to those barriers.
A couple things. One, that I ask that we have transparency and communication with the residents, and ask that we take a look at and identify all the issues. We heard many of them today. I don't know if everyone was necessarily obviously not present to address any other possible issues, and really look at what are the root causes of the issues, because many today brought up many solutions, and those might be great solutions, but until we look at the root cause of the issue, we might be just putting a Band-Aid, which is like the barriers or the speed bumps. Some residents on Philly say the speed bumps didn't really work. The barriers caused still the same amount of traffic, maybe a little bit less than before. So let's this time around really get a focus group together. I'd be happy to participate in it, a brainstorming session, but really take a look at what are all the issues, the root causes, and then implement appropriate solutions to those issues. Thank you.
We've recorded all of your comments, and as far as getting back, we will a couple days to summarize, and the approach will be to have a study done. Of course, we need a study and review that, and the comments, the input tonight is going to be taken into consideration when we do our study and come up with a solution. We've heard a wide range of recommendations, so as you can see, it's not a simple, won't be a simple investigation. There are a lot of aspects to look at, and we want to arrive at a safe solution for all concerned. So we appreciate your comments very much. We thank you for being here, for coming out tonight and participating. That's all we have for tonight.